All right, and then finally, we've got a couple other things to cover here, and then I'll leave these guys alone. I feel like this has been something that with Cam and Odell. Cam, obviously, elephant in the room that everybody's asking if he's going to replace Tom Brady. I personally don't. I don't think you replace Tom Brady. I don't think you can replace 6 Super Bowls. It doesn't happen like that. Now, do I think he can do some things that Tom Brady can? Of course. Cam, in his own way, was made in a lab. He's, 6'4", 6'5", huge, can run. He's got a rocket of an arm. Does he give Daniels a little bit more of an arsenal to be able to do what he wants to do? Yes, I believe he does. But point is, if you are going to sit here and tell me that Tom Brady in any way is not the GOAT or it will be ever forgotten just because even if Cam somehow finds a way to win 1 or 2 Super Bowls, it ain't 6. I mean, the point, yes, he's more athletically gifted, but elephant in the room, do you guys think at some point people will be talking about how Cam Newton replaced Tom Brady?
Here's what intrigues me is we can talk about Belichick and Tom Brady. Is Tom Brady, I think the question that what we'll kind of find out here, we can really dig deep into is Tom Brady a product of the system? Is Belichick that good of a quarterback or a coach, that good of a coach that he was able to set Brady up for that kind of success? Can he do that with Cam Newton? That's what we're going to find out. I think with Cam Newton, if Belichick's that great, the Patriots are going to be a feared team, especially with that defense. Holy cow. And, now you get Cam Newton. That would be an awesome guy to have. I mean, to have a quarterback that can do that. I've been there as a coach myself. It is a lot of fun. And so I think we'll find out, if he can make Cam Newton great and make them a contender. I think we start to question, maybe is Tom Brady a product of the system? Tom Brady played in a lot of really, really good teams. I mean, he wasn't the only guy carrying a team here. I think there's a lot to say for Belichick that hasn't been said yet. I think Belichick's a true GOAT that we should be talking about. I respect Brady. I think he's good. But I personally think he's a product of the system. I think we'll find out. I think that question will be answered depending on how Cam Newton does.
Garrett, what do you think, my man?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm curious to see how Cam Newton's going to look after being, I feel like hopefully he got to be, at least close to 100% healthy with this NFL season coming up. Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to the Bills and the Patriots for that East spot, and you're going to find out real quickly if how the Patriots season I feel is going to go in those first 3 to 4 games with Cam behind the center. The one thing that I really question about this, and we talked about this in a previous podcast, is they're probably only going to have Cam Newton. If he does well, he might be there for another couple years after that. I really don't know how Cam Newton's contract situation would work if he did really well or just did okay. Or the whole Jameis Winston thing, or if they should have went after Jameis Winston and tried to lock him up for 4 to 5 years. Okay, you can't shake your head no when you said Jameis Winston was going to go light it up for plus 40 touchdowns if he went to New England.
Over. Yes, I did say that, but over Cam Newton.
No.
Not over Cam Newton. I thought they would at least. I didn't think they were going to try to get Cam Newton because I just didn't think about that. But now that I'm thinking about it, now that they've got Cam Newton, I have to admit there's a good chance that Cam Newton is. They're more of a contender now, especially with Cam Newton.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just one of those things that just goes on in my brain where I'm like, okay, how is this all going to work out, contract wise and year wise? How is Cam going to do? I think it's really dangerous that Jameis gets to sit behind Drew Brees and he gets to actually take a year for his body to heal, his body to learn. So when Drew Brees decides to hang it up, I'll be curious to see how Jameis does after that, especially because we'll see if LASIK did anything or if that's just a joke.
Let that LASIK set in. We'll see.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's always nice to, see a kind of a comeback story because, if it's anything that I've seen from the videos of Cam Newton, he's kind of a man on a mission. He's really determined, to show people I'm still, super Cam. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make a name, and I'm gonna, ball out. And don't get me wrong, like that's what you want to see. You want to see like the best athletes at their best. At least that's what I want to see, man. I don't want to watch Sunday Night Football and watch the Patriots with a Cam Newton who's being average versus some other team where, yeah, like, but you know what I mean though. Like I want to watch, entertainment. I want to see these guys go out there and ball. Like the only people that I truly want to do bad are Patrick Mahomes and Drew Lock and.
How can you not you have to like Patrick Mahomes?
No. Okay, so here's the thing. I love Patrick. I love Patrick Mahomes as a human being. I think he's a great human being. I think what he does for Kansas City is absolutely phenomenal, and I hope he stays injury free. He doesn't have those problems. But I mean, I can wish him to throw 2 interceptions a game. I can wish him to have a completion rating of like 50 to 60%. I can hope he doesn't throw over 300 yards.
None of those happen.
Like, dude, I mean, you're right. You're not. You're absolutely not. But I can dream. I can dream about it. I mean,
okay.
So, yeah.
Maybe in 2031.
Yeah.
I mean, what it's like. I mean, you had to watch Brett Favre torch the Vikings. Then you had to watch Aaron Rodgers torch the Vikings.
I don't want to talk about this. This guy's extremely personal, way too fast. Like,
actually, I went and looked this up. I think about a month or two ago, and like since Zimmer's been like the head coach for like the Vikings, I think their record against the Packers is like 9-10-1 or something close to that. Like it's very 50-50, and that's why I personally really like when the Vikings and Packers play. I personally I'm personally not a fan of them being like matched up as like the first like 3 games of the year. Like I kind of want them to have like 5 to 6 games of other games before they play their first matchup. And then like, for instance, like this past year, I think like they played like in week 16 or they played like week 16 where it was like a very determining on like seeding for the playoffs. And like, I'm like, yeah, that's when I want to watch the Vikings and Packers go at it.
Absolutely. And that's funny you mentioned that because I was just thinking about that too the other night. I want to say it was either 2015 or 2016. This was like the Vikings they've had Mike Zimmer as a head coach for a couple years now. He's starting to build the defense, the team he wants. He's starting to build something here. And the Vikings go to Lambeau on a Sunday night football game. That had to be one of the most viewed games of all time because I was getting off work. I was working at a grocery store at the time. I was like a sophomore in college. And I remember my dad's like, hey, get your butt home. Let's go watch this game. Because it was going to be a blow. It was going to be just a good old-fashioned – it's the black and blue division. It's the NFC North. So my dad's like, hey, get your butt home. Grab a pizza on your way home. Let's watch this thing. And from the first snap to the last, it just didn't disappoint. That's what football is supposed to be about, those slug – those good old-fashioned, 3-yard runs that nobody really cares about. That's what football is supposed to be about, and especially 2 rival teams going at it. The Vikings, for the very first time, beat the Packers, were NFC North champions, and that was the first time in 5 or 6 years. It's a while because I mean. Rodgers at his prime, there was nobody going to touch Aaron Rodgers, and then when he kind of didn't get any more help for a while, that kind of let the Vikings come up and after they grabbed some players and everything. So that was one of those things. That's a great thing to say there, Garrett, because that's absolutely true. I actually kind of want to refute something, kind of reverting back to Cam Newton here a little bit, and then we can talk about the Vikings Packers some more. I did say Jameis Winston, yes, would tear it up if he went to the Patriots, because specifically he would not throw as near as many interceptions. However, in my wildest dreams, I never dreamed that the Panthers would ever let Cam Newton walk over Teddy Bridgewater. Now, don't get me wrong. I got a flag down, not a Teddy Bridgewater poster anymore. Well, the poster's over there. Point is, I love Teddy Bridgewater. I just from who he was as a quarterback, who he was as a person, as a teammate, a player, all that jazz. But Teddy Bridgewater over Cam Newton, even an injured Cam Newton. Like I understand he had a couple shoulder surgeries. I just feel like no matter how much better Teddy Bridgewater got, to just let Cam Newton just show him the door. I did not expect that. So now that I'm seeing this, now that the Patriots put it with one of the best coaches of all time, which again, we'll get to see if Brady was the product of a system. One of the best coaches of all time with one of the guys that was literally almost made in a lab for how athletically gifted this guy is. So now that I'm seeing that, I'm more in love with that than with the Jameis pick originally.